I have enjoyed presenting the State of the City address since this program was started by the Chamber of Commerce in 2013. Previous states of the city have been full of pride and joyful for the successes and achievements we accomplished in the previous year. Had I been delivering these comments in February or early March of this year, you would again have heard me exclusively talking about the 2019 successes and achievements because there were so many. And I will be talking about our great 2019 because it should not be forgotten. But in mid-March of 2020, our world changed. The novel coronavirus, COVID-19, has rocked our very existence, shaken us, upset us, scared us, made us mad, and caused us to question so many things. So it is impossible to talk today about the state of the city of Arvada without addressing the challenges of COVID-19. This crisis will require many months and, unfortunately, probably years of recovery. Arvada, I know we can do this, in no small part due to the very special partnerships I have bragged about in many of my previous reports to you. And as you will see, Arvada's best weapon to taking on the challenges before us is the potential of these partnerships. We first started hearing about this virus in China in January. And although we hoped it would be contained, our team at the city began preparing even then by updating our emergency preparedness plans and taking stock of needed resources, including personal protective equipment, which we now know as PPEs. We have gained a whole new vocabulary. By March, we were in full response to COVID-19. First, our number one goal and objective has at all times been the safety and well-being of the community and the city team. This guided our decision to close city facilities and to plan an appropriate phased reopening of those facilities with in-person services. On behalf of the entire City Council, we are grateful to our city team and the community partners who have contributed time and supplies, have helped make face coverings, and donated other resources. We're also grateful for the public safety partnerships across the Arvada Police Department, the Arvada Fire Protection District, the Sheriff's Department, and the public safety and first responder teams in neighboring municipalities and the region. Second, I am so very, very proud that we have continued to deliver core services such as water, wastewater, public safety, street maintenance, and others to Arvada residences and businesses. This is particularly a point of pride because the city has continued to provide nearly all of these services in a remote or physically distant manner, yet another part of our new vocabulary. And this has been a learning experience. Who knew what Zoom would bring to our lives? I had never heard of Zoom. I anticipate we will continue to utilize these new, remote, and flexible ways to provide service long after this pandemic is behind us. I think we'll keep having Zoom meetings. Third, we have remained committed to responsibly managing the city's resources, relying on our 10-year financial plan and healthy reserve funds to help us weather the current economic uncertainty. If ever there was a time to be thankful for a rainy day fund, it is now. Your city council and team at the city recognized that our 10-year modeling is a conservative approach in times of economic growth that helps us respond to economic challenges such as those caused by COVID-19. And thanks to our partners in the business community, all of you, we have built a strong foundation of stable, growing receipts during the strong economic growth we have so thoroughly enjoyed over the past several years. We recognize that the business community will be vital in our recovery, which is the city's fourth area of focus in responding to the COVID-19 health crisis, preparing and planning for recovery right away. Through the encouragement of City Council and with incredible work from our senior management, we announced in April the Arvada Emergency Business Recovery Initiative. This initiative is a set of resources to support Arvada businesses through this incredibly challenging time. including the Emergency Small Business Loan Fund, strategic partnerships, and streamlined regulatory processes. We have cut red tape. While we were hearing that federal funds would be available to businesses through the Small Business Administration, we knew that many of our small businesses needed immediate financial assistance. With the partnership of the Arvada Economic Development Association and the Arvada Urban Renewal Authority, we were able to support more than 250 for-profit small Arvada businesses with a $2.5 million emergency small business loan fund. I'm on the Metro Mayor's Caucus, and I talked to other mayors around the region who are working in similar type programs. I'm so very proud of ours. It's one of the best. One of those small business owners called me and said he had tears in his eyes when he received the Arvada funds, as they got to him quickly and immediately went to payroll. Now, there's a growing wait list for these funds, and we are working on ways to make more funds available. We are partners with the Arvada Resiliency Task Force, which is made up of Arvada community partners. In addition to the city, our partners include the Arvada Chamber of Commerce, the Arvada Urban Renewal Authority, the Arvada Economic Development Association, the Arvada Visitors Center, the Old Town Arvada Business Improvement District, and Community First Foundation, just to name a few. This task force has collaborated to learn and listen and support business, nonprofits, and their impacted employees through these so uncertain times, as well as working strategically on recovery efforts to reestablish a thriving business environment in the near future. The task force developed the Takeout Takeover for curbside food service, the Chow for Champions food donation program for our first responders, and all those healthcare workers who have given so much during this time, and the business toolkit to provide thoughtful assistance to our businesses. And now, the task force has announced the Safe and Open campaign to create a shared set of principles to reopen businesses to help get our economy back on track. Support those businesses, please. One of our partners, Alpha Graphics, through Ed Rothschild, is donating signs for our businesses to display. The fifth and final important focus area in responding to COVID-19 has been to provide timely information and opportunities for the community to be involved in our response to this crisis. Through ongoing communications, videos, forums, and online channels, we have conveyed the city's work to respond to this pandemic every step of the way. We have partnered with the community to provide forums, collected and shared community ideas about how to be neighborly to each other, and to connect socially, even as we had to be physically distant. I want to close my discussion of COVID-19 with you today by acknowledging the sacrifices each and every one of you have made. For those of you who have lost loved ones, we grieve with you. For those who have been sickened but recovered, we wish you a speedy recovery. For those of you who have stayed at home, thank you. I truly believe our death and sickness toll would be much higher had we not complied with the health department's orders. Thank you for helping your children with their studies and coping with this experience. I have been so thrilled to see parents out on bike rides with their kids. In some ways, I think this has brought families even closer together. Thank you for being good neighbors, putting stuffed animals in your front windows to be enjoyed by all who walk by. My neighbors have a daily bingo game with folks in the lawn chairs on their respective driveways. These things are heartwarming. Thank you to our local businesses, particularly our restaurants and small retailers who have lost so much. I am saddened by those businesses that will not survive. In happier days, we cut ribbons for their grand openings. And today, some of them are closing and will not come back. And we will miss them. Hopefully, in due time, they or others will open again. Thank you to the employers and employees who work in essential services and the supply chain, like in hospitals, grocery stores, and delivering goods. They are the true heroes. And a special thank you to our first responders, including our own police officers, for continuing to keep Arvada safe during this challenging time. Our dedication to supporting the community during this crisis can be summarized by the following video.
Okay, so today we're on a very important police mission. We received a telephone call yesterday from a woman in Colorado Springs. Her name is Joanne. The phone call came to Michelle Brodsky of our city manager's office.
While working remotely for the City of Arvada City Manager's office, I received a phone call, and she was trying to find a way to deliver her favorite dessert, a cherry pie. So I sent an email to our police department, and they organized a special birthday pie delivery for Susie.
One of the most important pieces of this mission is to pick up the said cherry pies. We're headed to Rylander's Bakery in Old Town Arvada, which we ordered the pies from yesterday. In doing so, we made sure that we were supporting local Arvada businesses. Thank you so much, guys.
How much we appreciate this.
Oh, I appreciate you guys.
Thanks for being
Yes.
on the front line.
So what we're gonna do is, just to make sure, we're just gently wiping it down with Lysol wipes on the outsides, just to be sure and just to be safe. And then we are going to go ahead and make our delivery and make sure that we explain to our birthday recipients that they will need to unpackage these, wash their hands. And now I know what you're thinking. Dave, is all this that important? Why are you using resources to do this? And I will tell you, absolutely it's important, because Susie Montoya is turning 102 years of age today. We're going to go over, we're going to give out these pies, all while maintaining COVID CDC standards, maintaining our distance, and using proper procedures to make sure that we keep this entire family safe. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mayor and City Council of Arvada that March 27th, 2020 is proclaimed as Susie Montoya Day.
That was such a special day with special people. We are positioned well to respond to the COVID crisis because of the strong support from these dedicated professionals. We are also well positioned because of the strong organization, accomplishments, and partnerships that we continued to build last year. A particularly successful collaboration has been between your city council and the rest of the city team. In January, we had a very successful council retreat with the assistance of our team. Little did we know then what we know now. The purpose of that day was to review and reconfirm council's priorities as a city council, as well as to adjust specific work. For several years, your city council has been driven by 5 strategic priorities: organizational and service effectiveness, safe community, community and economic development, infrastructure, and vibrant community and neighborhoods. Arvada depends on a well-managed, fiscally responsible city government to guide the organization in a manner that enhances quality of life. A core part of this is fiscal responsibility. And today I have talked about how the city's strong financial position has helped us respond to the COVID crisis. We are one of only 4 agencies in Colorado to receive the 2019 National Purchasing Institute's Achievement of Excellence in Procurement Award in recognition of our innovation, professionalism, e-procurement, productivity, and leadership. For the 28th straight year, our finance department has received the Government Finance Officers Association's Distinguished Budget Presentation Award, which represents the city's strong commitment to meeting the highest principles of governmental budgeting. This video helps illustrate the city's approach to financial planning.
Oftentimes, there's a lot of different priorities that are out there, and so we really have to rank those priorities and deal with them in a manner that is consistent with what the council and the community wants. For example, our community has told us that street maintenance is very important. About 8 years ago, we were allocating about $3 million to maintenance on our streets. We're now nearly $10 million each year, and we usually add some funds to that. So we've more than tripled our investment in our street maintenance program in response to community concerns. Well, our budget process, the most unique part, I believe, is that we relate it to the City Council strategic plan and performance measures that let us know whether or not we are allocating our resources in a manner to achieve the results that the City Council wants us to achieve. The other thing that's unique about our budget is we project it to be long range. So we not only develop a 2-year budget that's updated every year, but we also develop a 10-year financial models.
10-year financial plan makes the city a little bit more conservative, but what it does is it makes sure that anything we put in play today, we can pay for over the entire 10-year period of time. But by being conservative and not having those high highs and low lows, we're able to survive recessions a little bit better than most.
That is such a good process. Other milestones in the area of organizational and service effectiveness include saying goodbye to Chris Daly, who had served as the city's attorney for nearly a quarter century. And we got to welcome Rachel Morris to the position, and she's doing a great job. Council implemented a Smart City Advisory Committee, which continues to advance our smart city goals through additional fiber deployment and innovative pilot projects that specifically target customer experience, data to improve service delivery, and public safety. Speaking of fiber, the city team pulled more than 18 miles of fiber towards achieving the fiber master plan goal to lay 55 miles of fiber in Arvada. So very important. A cornerstone of our community is our incredible police force that continues to maintain highly trained public safety professionals, strong community connections, and important partnerships. A year ago in my State of the City address, I discussed the significant challenges that homelessness and mental illness pose to the community. Last June, the Arvada Police Department created a new unit called the Community Outreach, Resource, and Enforcement, or CORE team. The CORE team consists of 3 officers who proactively conduct enforcement and outreach efforts in Old Town and throughout the city of Arvada to not only our homeless individuals, but businesses and community members who report crime trends or quality of life concerns within their neighborhoods. The CORE team epitomizes the concept of partnership, collaborating with multiple agencies and nonprofit organizations to conduct outreach efforts, including the Community Table, Jeffco Public Libraries, Jefferson County Human Services, Colorado Coalition for the Homeless, and Jefferson Center for Mental Health, to name just a few. The CORE unit also works closely with our legal department and the city's homeless navigator, who works with our Vibrant Community and Neighborhoods team to support a regional partnership collectively addressing homelessness. Since CORE was created, they have responded to over 643 calls for service, addressed the issues, and have made over 116 arrests. Instituted in January of this year, the Homeless Navigator program has placed 7 chronically homeless individuals in permanent housing, with 5 more to be placed soon. Now, more than ever, I am thankful that we have these programs and efforts in place. Other public safety highlights include the opening of the Whisper Creek Station, part of our police department's approach to sector-based policing. This approach speeds response times for calls for service and improves connections with the community, making residents, businesses, and our police officers partners in maintaining a strong and safe Arvada. Appropriately, the Arvada Police Department is known as a flagship agency to the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies. In 1986, Arvada Police Department was the first accredited law enforcement agency in Colorado, and it continues to work through the 4-year reaccreditation process in anticipation of being awarded an 11th consecutive reaccreditation early next year. Your police department keeps us safe through training and its professionalism, but also through strong partnerships. Another strong partnership that is part of our safe community is Ralston House. And here's an opportunity to learn a little bit more about their important work.
Ralston House serves well over 1,200 children a year. Along with sexual abuse, cases may involve physical abuse, witnessing violence in the home, even the death of another child. As an advocacy center, Ralston House offers a safe place to begin the healing journey. It's where forensic interviews take place and families get help.
At Ralston House, our mission is giving people hope. We are a safe place for these children and their families to come to be able to share what they've been through and what they've experienced in their lives. And it's a place where they can feel heard and understood.
Facilities provided largely by the City of Arvada go a long way. But Ralston relies on donors for the professional staff and resources that help guide children and families out of this darkest time of their lives.
On top of providing forensic interviews, we also provide victim advocacy and support for all the families that come here to Ralston House. So we're always providing that support through long-term counseling. We provide resources and information and referrals for those families to be able to tap into different resources inside the community to be able to continue that healing long after they leave here at Ralston House.
It's so sad that we need that very important organization and operation, but we do, and I'm glad it's there. In this Chamber of Commerce hosted event, I have already touched on the vital role of economic development in helping us respond to COVID-19. And our future prosperity and quality of life will be significantly influenced by the city's ability to ensure that development meets our needs, supports the local economy, and responds to the community's vision. Over the past year, we have made significant progress in supporting this vision by advancing an update of the Land Development Code to better align our development code to the Arvada Comprehensive Plan. Truly a partnership between the city, its residents, businesses, and customers. This 2-year undertaking included extensive public input and engagement, and the City Council will consider its adoption on May 18th. It's been a lot of hard work, but we've been hand in hand with the community to, I think, really make things better. This is a long-term improvement that will help us recover from the current setback faster by streamlining regulations to get projects moving forward. Once approved, a typical review process will be reduced from 12 months to 4 months. On projects that do require City Council review, the process will be reduced from 12 months to 7 months. Working in partnership with the community to support community development leads to positive results. Evidence of this is Old Town's nomination for the American Planning Association's Great Places in Colorado recognition.
Through comprehensive planning and thoughtful design, Old Town not only embraces its past, but is built for its future. It enjoys a walkable environment throughout both its residential and business districts. Bicyclists are welcome thanks to traffic calming designs and enhanced amenities. And while the G-Line commuter rail harkens back to Old Town's early rail history, today it transports travelers anywhere in the world, thanks to its connection to Denver's Union Station and Denver International Airport. The opposite also holds true, that global visitors are drawn in to Old Town, thanks to its charm, intentional mixed-use design, and abundant residential, retail, and entertainment opportunities. Civic and business groups alike share a pride in hosting special events that bring the entire community together and create a thriving cultural oasis. Nature holds the heart of this Colorado community. Tree-lined streets, an extensive trail system, and cherished parks are just part of the story. Green materials, energy-efficient lighting, cool roofs, and rain gardens tie it all together. In so many ways, Old Town truly bridges its yesteryear to its future. Entirely by design, it is a great place to call home.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for Old Town to regain its former vitality. It's such a special, special place. The partnerships that led to this success also include developers, business owners, citizens, and partners like this incredible Chamber of Commerce. Two of the city's strongest partners have been the Arvada Economic Development Association and the Arvada Urban Renewal Authority. AIDA continues to support the business community through a variety of efforts and resources, and most recently, moving quickly to respond to the pandemic. Their efforts also helped Arvada retain 100% of our large businesses in 2019. In the past year, AIDA has supported over $168 million in commercial capital investment in our community. With AIDA's help, over 335 jobs were added last year to urban centers and corridors alone. The Arvada Urban Renewal Authority is not only a partner in making the Emergency Business Recovery Initiative a reality, but it continually enhances our community by targeting blight and growing economic vitality. For example, ORA has partnered with our Parks Department and our Bike Pedestrian Coordinator in our Transportation Mobility Division to redesign and rebuild a narrow, dark, not pedestrian-friendly bike path winding through the neighborhood near 57th and Garrison to create in the future a wide, safe route to school, well-lit pathway linking the neighborhood to nearby amenities. This is going to be a great project. ORA has partnered with a developer and engaged the community to bring 100 affordable housing units to the southeast corner of Garrison and Ralston, and I look forward to that project. Additionally, ORA partnered with a developer on the revitalization of the former Tabernacle Church at the corner of 57th and Yukon in Old Town to ensure the historic elements of the building are preserved, and will partner with the city's Design Review Committee to ensure the building blends with the overall Old Town design guidelines. This was the first Presbyterian church in Arvada. As they have in the past, these two important partners will be arm in arm with the city as we begin to recover. Turning to the City Council's focus on infrastructure, we know that the community depends on a well-maintained foundation of streets, sidewalks, and water, wastewater and stormwater facilities, which is why Council continues to make infrastructure a strategic priority. We're in good shape on water this year, but I'll continue my request, and I don't know how we do it socially distant, but shower with a friend. Over the past year, the city continued to deliver high-quality water that meets or exceeds all standards at the slowest rates in the Front Range. In 2019, we broke ground on a new parks and fleets facility that will provide much-needed additional space to help ensure we can keep pace with infrastructure construction and maintenance needs. I want to compliment the Facilities Division, and in particular our Facilities Maintenance team, who have been working tirelessly behind the scenes to keep city facilities safe and clean during the city's response to COVID-19. These unsung heroes have quickly shifted how and where they work in order to keep their coworkers in city facilities safe. We have also continued projects to strengthen connections across our community, improve traffic flow, and increase safety. Work on the 72nd Avenue underpass and Ralston Road voter-approved bond and grant projects are well underway. We have developed pilot projects to help make walking and biking in Arvada even safer. These projects haven't happened in a vacuum. They benefit from extensive public input and engagement. A great example of collaboration from the past year has been a partnership between the Colorado School of Mines and our streets team to investigate different salt treatments to control snow and ice on our roads.
Another winter storm and Arvada snow plows roll out. But there's more to clearing snow than you might think. This winter, the Streets Division is putting salt to the test.
The SALT study is a partnership that we've gotten involved with the School of Mines. It's a capstone project to look at the different types of salts and their effectiveness, as well as corrosiveness,
Simply put, senior engineering students are testing Arvada's various salt options by collecting data in the field and performing experiments in their labs.
There's constant change and improvements in technologies around salt. There's different additives that can be added. There's different mixtures.
And different marketing claims and prices, too.
And this gives us the opportunity to be able to do some lab analysis and corrosion analysis.
Currently, 3 salt types are in the test.
This is rock salt, the brown stuff around here, and the blue stuff is ice kicker. And another one we're going to be testing is ice slicer, which is this red salt that's mined in Utah that has interesting properties.
The performance test of each salt takes into account ambient temperatures, pavement temperatures, and other weather conditions.
It's how fast they melt ice, how well they do it, how much they melt. We're going to be testing their corrosive properties, like how much they can corrode metal infrastructure, how much they can, we're talking about rail ties, rebar and concrete, stuff like that.
The corrosion tests are being carried out in the labs at the School of Mines. That's where environmental impacts are being studied too.
Sorry, I have to get a Jimmy Buffett reference in here. That makes me think of a certain lost shaker of salt. And although many of us are not able to enjoy it right now, I would be remiss if I did not mention the launch of the Gold Line last year. This wildly successful commuter rail line is truly a product of long-term partnerships across former and current council members, RTD, Denver Transit Partners, and other partners. It's a great ride. Even as we remain physically distant and deal with current challenges, we continue to appreciate Arvada as a vibrant community that is engaged in civic life, the arts, and the outdoors. The city and its partners' focus on supporting these qualities help keep Arvada as a special place to live, work, play, learn, and stay. 2019 was a time to celebrate the amenities that help make our community great. It was the 100th anniversary of Arvada's park system, and we found ways to celebrate that throughout the year. We celebrated the 40th birthday of Lake Arbor Golf Course and the 25th birthday of Westwoods Golf Club. In the past year, our Take Lasting Care program renovated 2 parks, including amenities that were selected as part of a neighborhood engagement project. Rainbow East Park Playground offers themed equipment unlike anything else in Arvada, and Ralston Valley Park Playground includes climbing boulders and a moon rover. Residents of these neighborhoods have expressed great appreciation on social media for the renovations, and residents outside the neighborhoods have said the playgrounds are now destination points for their families. Luann and I are anxious to get back into our parks and trails with our 8 grandchildren. Our partnerships with our terrific volunteers were strengthened when our parks team embarked upon a campaign to increase the Parks Rangers program, hosting a Parks Ranger University and attracting over 75 new volunteers. These Rangers have learned first aid, conflict management, emergency response, outdoor safety, resource protection, animal control, and much more in order to provide our parks and trails visitors with the best experience possible. Our vibrant community requires support for human services, including housing programs and strong community partnerships to support our more vulnerable community members.
I think the beauty of the partnership is that it brings in all these incredible partners that have an expertise in a particular area. So Red Rocks Community College, physician assistant, obviously, the medical care. City of Arvada with giving us the space. Lutheran Medical Center with providing exam tables and lab work. Loma for providing eye care. Martinez for providing dental care.
Martin says they're open to providing other services in the future, such as hearing tests or mental health care. As one of the City of Arvada's strong partners, seeing Community Table lead the way in organizing the health clinic is seen as benefiting the entire community.
It's really a challenge for one agency to provide all the services that a person might need. So to bring in other partners who are able to harness their strengths and bring that to the table, it offers a more robust level of services for the individual to take advantage of.
I've been struggling, with like some basic health issues, and so just getting them addressed, and I am today. It's going to get me on my feet. I'm very thankful that it's here.
That is such a great partnership. Another challenging topic for our community is organized waste hauling. City Council will be considering an organized waste hauling ordinance, allowing time for the community to have their questions about the proposed ordinance answered and to hear your input. And trust me, we have been hearing from many of you on both sides of the question. I know we will hear more from you, including at the public hearing currently scheduled for June 15th. Stay tuned. This is a big one. Finally, the partnerships across our neighborhood engagement and resilience teams launched the Superhero Campaign and Talent Bank this past summer to encourage neighbors to build stronger connections in their neighborhoods. You responded with flying colors, enrolling in the city's neighborhood programs, hosting block parties, and filling out our talent bank to identify special skills in neighborhoods. Who knew that less than a year later, this partnership between the city team and our neighbors, and between neighbor and neighbor, would be crucial in our response as a community to a global health crisis. And please remember to complete your census. It will bring very important and needed dollars and resources to Arvada. I'm so proud of our citizens and our business community. I'm often hearing the phrase, we're all in this together. What we have known in Arvada for years, for decades, is the spirit of that statement, embodied in countless partnerships and volunteerism and civic institutions. Those are the keys to our success. Whether part of the long-term strategies for the city or in response to a global pandemic, we have always benefited from working together. Now, as we increasingly turn to recovery and resuming a new normal, whatever that might be, now is the time to recommit ourselves to working together in the coming year and beyond to build upon all that we have accomplished thus far in this incredible city. And most importantly, I want to thank you. Thank our community, including all of you, for this crucial and ongoing collaboration and partnership that ensures that the state of the city of Arvada remains strong. Thank you.